Hello, my name is Hutchison, and this is my Module 11 case study over the case study Everyday Counts. For section 1, which was summarize the case and establish the facts, concerns have been raised regarding attendance rates at the local high school. These concerns stem from several sources, such as staff underreporting or excusing absences that go against school and district policy, parent and guardian disposition towards education, finding it unimportant or unnecessary, district policy not being enforced by all stakeholders, whether that is teaching staff, office staff, or coaching staff, and by parents and students as well, and extracurricular activities being prioritized over education. These are only some of the issues, though. The principal has examined 5 prime examples of the above issues contributing to excessive absenteeism. In the first semester of his first year at the high school, he now has the task to evaluate how he will address these concerns with community stakeholders to develop a school culture that has valued attendance and understood the relationship between high academic achievement and attendance. The second section was about reporting any legal or ethical issues. Sorry, I apologize for my voice. Not feeling the greatest today. While no one has come to physical harm due to this issue, concerns should be raised in regard to the student's academic success, which, according to the precedent set by Prince versus Massachusetts, states may require parents to send their children to school. Due to the state giving the right to determine what qualifies as chronic absenteeism, the 5 described students in this case study meet the district's criteria for this. Section 3 was about synthesizing exactly what has happened in a single sentence. My statement is that over the course of several years, attendance rate at Golden Oaks High School have significantly decreased due to several contributing factors, such as district attendance policies not being followed by stakeholders and parent-guardian disposition toward the importance of education. Section 4, synthesizing the facts. Let me move myself so you can see my graphic just a little bit better. 3 sections under this area were people, place, and program. For people, several staff members have not been properly reporting absences or allowing absences outside of district policy. Some families and guardians do not place a high value on student attendance for one reason or another. Students are not completing work. They are assigned during their absence and are missing important scheduled testing days. For a place, the school is located in a suburban area with historically little diversity. However, in recent years, a more diverse population has moved into the area. Many families have long commutes to work due to the location of the town in relation to their jobs in the metropolitan area nearby. The case study stated that some of them had 1 to 2 hour long commutes, which impacted their involvement in their students' academics. And for program, the school is a public school. Extracurricular activities have a large influence over the inner workings of the school, with students involved in sport-related extracurriculars having certain preference given to them in regard to absence, particularly those who are involved in football, which is widely supported by the school and community. For section 5, review and prioritize the information. First, due to the nature of education, these students not attending classes for the amount of time they have missed can have a detrimental effect on their future, especially if, as stated in the case study, these students are not completing the work that they were assigned. In one case, it said that a student was given work and they were going on a trip to Canada. Parent asked for work and said that it would definitely be signed, but the work would be completed, but it was never stated. No follow-up was made whether the student actually completed the work. And the question has to be brought to mind, are these trips actually of educational value? While they may be educational in general, is it appropriate for the stage of development of that student and what they are studying in class? Next, the stakeholders who have not yet been consulted regarding the issue, the school staff, especially the staff members excusing the excessive absence and the guidance counselor, the students with absences and their parents as it applies, and the staff in charge of extracurricular activities in the school. And the reason why I said parents and guardians as applies is because one student, it was not made clear if they live with their parents, as it said that they were recently married. And so would the parents have that priority over them in that situation, or would the spouse? And finally, at this point, more information can still be collected regarding several of the situations before an informed decision should be made. For example, in Carl's situation, it stated that the principal needs to look into the attendance rates of his siblings. And for Karen's situation, in which she was recently married, there was a lot of missing information there. It didn't talk about why her absences were there. It just mentioned that she was recently married and that her parents were asking for conferences, but no follow-up information was provided. Section 6, identify your options and possible consequences. One action would be no action to be taken. Students in case study, families and staff will continue on the current path, and absences will most likely continue to increase, not just with the mentioned students, but with others as well. Least extreme action would just be notifying staff and family members of district policy regarding absence and their concerns. Most extreme action would be staff, families, and students are issued a message regarding district policies and how these will be enforced effective immediately. Strict attendance monitoring will be enforced by staff, with write-ups being issued to students who do not comply, who do not meet district requirements, no exceptions given, and ultimately resulting in truancy being called to decide further action, whether that's juvenile court system or social services. And staff can have evaluations impacted if they are found to be non-compliance. The principal has the only authorization to approve absences. Middle of the road, kind of combining the two, would be staff, families, and students are informed of the ongoing issue with attendance, and data is provided that relays the impact absence can have on academic performance of a student's future. A committee is formed consisting of stakeholders, including students as permissible, and that works towards decreasing attendance issues. In a more structured form of reported absences is implemented among staff, and a more thorough guide to how to determine permissible absences given to staff as well. Section 7, evaluating your options. There are many pros and cons to each. I'm just going to mention a few from this slide. No action would be pros. I mean, people wouldn't be upset with the new administration. So in a way that would be good. However, cons would be nothing is ever done to fix the issue. And so student scores would decrease, graduation rates would suffer, and possibly the principal's position could be at stake. The least extreme would just be notifying. The pros would be at least the people would be made aware of the issue. The cons would be with no enforcement, it's likely to be ignored. Nothing's going to be done about it, and things are going to be continuing on the same path. Most extreme, the pros would be concerns regarding the issue are made aware to stakeholders, and strategies are implemented to help address the issues. And then they have a stricter guideline for absences, so it's more likely to be reliable. But the cons would be it would garner a lot of negative attention. A lot of people would not be happy. This could cause staff to not want to be there anymore and creating a teacher shortage, or at least morale to really go down, and the principal would lose a lot of support from his new staff and families. In the middle of the road approach, the pros would be that stakeholders are made aware of the concerns and informed to the consequences of chronic absenteeism. Stakeholders' input is seen as valued by involving them in decision making. A method of accountability is implemented to ensure proper action is being taken. And cons, if the absenteeism is still not seen as an issue, then very little will be done to solve the problem, and interest in becoming involved in the committee will be very low. Section 8, choosing the best option. According to the plans outlined previously, I decided that the middle of the road option would probably be the best, as it appeals to the most people while still addressing the issues. It also informs all stakeholders of what the issues are, making them aware so that they can be properly addressed. And then plans for accountability are created to, as soon as possible, if not immediately, address the issue. Section 9, imagine implementing your decision. First, further research needs to be done in regard to the students mentioned in the case study. That research into particularly those students, Karen, and I believe it was Carl, and their backgrounds and what's going on in their lives. Next, a presentation regarding the district's concern would need to be created and presented to staff, and a letter would need to be sent out to families stating the concerns and giving the data behind everything and suggestions that could help prevent absenteeism. And then finally, an interest survey would be sent out regarding the creation of the committee to address the absenteeism. And once that interest survey has been once interest has been established, then the committee could be created from interested stakeholders, and they would start creating the strategies, tools, policies to address this issue. And one of the most pressing issues to address would be the creation of stricter guidelines to determine what qualifies an absence as excusable or inexcusable. A better reporting system for absenteeism should also be looked into to help ensure proper reporting of absences. And here are my references. Thank you so much and have a great day.